welcome to this week's episode of Blender for Beginners. In this week's episode, the third episode in this mini-series, we're going to look at how to create walls for our room and how to add windows into these walls. So first of all, we've got our scene that we were working on the last time, where we've got our table, our chairs and our floor that's textured. And what we're going to do, I'm going to come out of my rendered view down the bottom into solid view. And the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to create a cube by going up to the create tab up here and creating a cube. And this cube's going to form the basis of our walls. So first of all, let's move that cube. And what we're going to do is we're going to scale that cube up. And if I zoom inside, we can see we've now almost very easily got some walls there. But that's not enough. So what we need to do is I'm going to scale that down because it's a bit too big. So I'm going to press S on my keyboard and then I'm going to press the Z key and scale it down on the Z axis so that it's not quite so tall. And zoom back in. And there we go. Perfect. Okay, next I'm going to go into edit mode and I'm going to use my face select tool and I'm just going to delete the top of that cube, the top face, by going to the tools, right click to select the top face, then go tools, remove, delete face, and that's going to delete that face there because I don't need it. I'm going to have a whole separate roof structure on eventually. Next thing I'm going to do, I'm going to delete the bottom as well because we've already got a floor, so delete that. And I'm going to select all of my faces by hitting A on the keyboard, select the 4 remaining walls, and I'm just going to extrude the region along vertex normals. So go extrude, a little drop down menu, and then choose region vertex normals. And there we go. And I've just added some thickness to my walls there, so it's not just a paper thin wall. Perfect. So we've got our walls if we have a look around, but at the minute there's nothing much remarkable going on. What we're going to do is we're going to add in a doorway and a few windows. So to do this, we're going to use a modifier called a Boolean. So first of all, I'm going to go to create and I'm going to create another cube, and this cube here is going to be my window, bizarrely. And I'm just going to drag it over to where I want the window to be, and I'm just going to resize it just using the manual scale tools. So I want my window to, we'll go for a big window to start. So there we go. And I'm going to select my move tool here. So there we go, I've got my cube. It's just a normal cube. It's not a cube anymore, it's a rectangle. And just position it roughly where you want the window to be. Then what we're going to do is we're going to right click our walls to select that. Go over to the spanner icon on the tabs over here, and this is the modifiers icon. This is where we're going to add the Boolean. So go add modifier, choose Boolean. And the Boolean is basically going to cut out the same shape as this rectangle into the wall, and we're going to do that by going into the Boolean settings over here, and under operation we want to choose difference because it's going to work out what the difference in the two shapes is and delete them. And then under object tab we need to select what our rectangle is. Now I know that my rectangle is cube 007, so I'm going to select that. Now nothing's happened so far, but what we need to do is click apply, and now if I right click my cube window and I drag that out, we'll see that it's actually cut out. It's cut out the shape of the window from my walls. There we go, so we created a very simple window. And if we go into my rendered view setting, we should be able to clearly see now we've got the walls and we've got a window there letting some light in. Perfect. So then we can just repeat this operation very, very simply. So if I wanted to make a door, I can resize this, move it around to where my door's going to be. Say the door's over here. It's a bit thin for a door, isn't it? So make that a bit wider. And you know, your Boolean can deal with more complex shapes, so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to edit my door to make it a bit more of an interesting door shape. There we go. So it's no longer just a simple kind of thing. If I pull it out, we'll see it's not actually done nothing yet. So I'm going to place that back in, and once again, right click to select your walls. Go add modifier, Boolean. Make sure you choose difference, so it deletes the shape of the other mesh there. And under the object, make sure you select whatever that object is. I know it's object 7 is that. And then click apply. Move your shape out of the way, and there we go. So nice and easy. So that's how we can create some simple walls using a cube and then extruding along the vertex normals, and how we can use existing primitives within our scene, such as this cube here I've got that I've made my door shape window. How we can use these in the Boolean to create openings like windows, doors, stuff like that. So let's delete this, delete that door shape. So we've got our scene now. We've still got our table, our chairs, we've still got our floor. It's a little bit oversized, to be honest, isn't it? I've noticed that the table and chairs do actually seem a bit small compared to the room, so we'll shrink that down a little bit. Now I've probably made it a bit. So just have a little bit of a play until you get your sense of scale about right. And let's just add, like we did last week, a material and texture to our walls. So right click your walls, go into your material tab, which is the red circle icon, go new. We'll just have a diffuse material here. I'll add a texture to it though, so under the colour settings, go past the colour selection tool there, and right click the dot next to it, choose image texture, click open to find where your textures are, and navigate to the folder you've saved your textures in. And we'll just click, we'll just have a seamless plaster wall. Choose box as the mapping type, and under vector make sure instead of default you click it and choose generated under texture coordinates. So let's have a look now. Go into your rendered view, and our scene's starting to come together now, isn't it? So we can see there it's looking a little bit better. Let's resize the floor now to fit the room. So right click the floor, press S on your keyboard to scale, and move your mouse to scale it down, and then use the arrow tools to move it around. Make sure you've got the arrow transform tool selected, and keep on scaling this down until it's about the right size for your room. And I'm going to go into top view and change it to orthographic, just so I can get this as near as perfect. There we go. And in fact, I go back to top, because the only thing I need to do here is there we go. Absolutely perfect. Change it back to my perspective view. Perfect. Okay, so now we've got the floors the right size to fit the room. We've got walls with a door and windows. And there we go, as easy as that. So, good luck creating walls and your room's windows and openings. I look forward to seeing your work. Thank you very much for watching.